Kale pushes through the last of the giant ferns. The damp leaves slapping against his skin. The air grows still, heavy with the scent of wet earth and something else soul-bound. He is not supposed to be this far into the deep ravines. This is the territory of the River Kings, the great Spinosaurus, and trespassing is a death sentence. But the moon minus petal flowers the old shaman, Pilora, needs for her poultices grow only in these water minus logged shadows, and her coughing has grown worse. He freezes, his hand resting on the smooth bark of a cycad. Ahead, the ravine opens not into the expected swamp, but into a wide, bleached valley under a perpetually grey sky. It is a cathedral of death, skeletons, dozens of them, lie half minus buried in the ancient silt. The iconic, fan minus like sails of the River Kings jut from the earth like the broken masts of a ghost fleet. Rib cages, vast enough to shelter a family, curve towards a sky they have not seen in generations. This is a place where prehistoric life came to a sudden, violent end. His breath catches in his throat. This is no hunting ground. There are no tooth marks scoring the bones. No signs of a great dinosaur battle. They are all oriented in the same direction, as if they were trying to flee an unseen foe coming from the sea. It is a silent testament, a story written in bone that no one has read for an age, a part of the land's unwritten fossil record. This is the sort of discovery that shapes hominid history. But here, there is no one to see it but him. He steps carefully between colossal vertebrae, his bare feet sinking into the soft, grey soil. On wars with a primal fear, his gaze is drawn to a single, magnificent skull, its long, crocodile minus-like snout filled with conical teeth, perfectly preserved. Wedged in its eye socket is a strange stone, not flint or granite, but a piece of black glass, swirled with grey ash and unnaturally smooth. It seems to drink the light, pulsing with a coldness that has nothing to do with the morning air. I Shaman's instinct. The nascent power Elora is trying to nurture in him, screams a warning and come and touch it. He reaches out, his fingers hesitating for a moment before brushing the obsidian minus-like surface. The world vanishes. There is no sound, only pressure, a roar that is felt in the bones, not heard with the ears. The sky is not blue but a churning black wall of water, a wave so high it scrapes the clouds. He sees it through 100 sets of eyes at once. The terror of the sail minus backed tightens as their river turns against them, becoming an unstoppable, grinding force. He feels the snap of their powerful legs caught in the torrent, the crushing weight of a whole ocean falling from the sky. Salt and mud fill his lungs. He is drowning with them. A ghost minus witness to an apocalypse that happened long before the first of the ancient humans ever walked this coast. He rips his hand away, stumbling backward, falling hard among the ribs of a long minus dead leviathan. He gasps for air that is once again still and silent. His heart hammers against his own ribs. The vision is gone, but the knowledge it seared into his mind remains. This was no flood. It was the sea itself, rising up to swallow the land, and the stone it was forged in the planet's rage, a memory of the day the ancient earth remade this coast. Kale scrambles to his feet, his quest for moon minus petals completely forgotten. He looks from the silent boneyard back toward the west, toward the sea caves where his clan sleeps, oblivious. They live by the tide, trust its ancient rhythms. They believe the ocean is their provider. He now knows it is also their executioner. The vision was not just a memory. It was a prophecy. He bursts from the tree line, a wild thing of mud and frantic energy. His words are torn to bone valleys and drowning titans. The clan of the salt spray barely notices. They are a people of routine, their lives carved by the rhythm of the tides. The men are chipping at flint nodules. Their sharp, percussive strikes a familiar morning song. The women are gutting fish down by the tidal pools, their hands stained silver and red. Life here is hard, but it is known. The unknown is what kills you. Kel finds the elders huddled near the smoking heart of the main fire, their faces already set like stone against the morning chill. Below, But Chieftain is a mountain of a man. His authority absolute, earned through a lifetime of surviving what others could not. He does not rise as Kale approaches, merely watches the boy's frantic pleading with eyes that have seen too many false omens. A wave that touches the sky. A valley of ghosts. Bo's voice is a low rumble, like rocks grinding in the surf. You followed a scent of moon minus battle and came back with a fever minus dream. The sea is our mother, boy. She faints us. She does not turn on her own. It has happened before. Kale insists, his voice cracking. The bones don't lie. They are all turned from the sea. Something drove them inland, and it wasn't a predator. It was the water itself. He extends his hand, showing them the strange, black stone. This holds the memory of it. The other elders murmur, shifting uncomfortably. They respect the ways of the shamans, the whispers of the spirit world. But this is different. This is a call to abandon everything, the safety of their cliff-side caves, the rich hunting grounds of the coast, the very place their ancestors are buried. It is an unthinkable disruption to the fragile balance of their existence, the accumulated wisdom of their entire hominid history. An elder named Grak, his face a web of wrinkles, picks up a fish miner's head from a nearby rock. The fish are still here, he says, his voice flat and final. When the fish leave, we will talk of leaving. Kale's shoulders slump. Their disbelief is a wall as high as the cliffs. He can see it in their eyes. He is just a boy, apprenticed to a dying shaman, his head filled with shadows. He turns his gaze from their resolute faces to the world around them, and for the first time, he sees the signs are already here. The air is still. The usual flocks of gulls that plagued the fish miner's gutters are absent. The sky is empty. Then he sees them, high above, circling the inland peaks, or the dark, leathery shapes of the great miner's winged pterodactyls. They never come this far from the coast. Their hunting grounds are over the endless blue. Today, they ride the high air currents in tight, agitated circles, their shrill calls echoing faintly, a sound of profound unease. They are afraid of the ocean. He points a trembling finger. Look. Even the sky minus hunters know. They feel it coming. But the elders do not look up. To them, the creatures of the sky follow their own unknowable whims. Bioa dismisses him with a wave of his hand. Go, help Kaloru. Your spirit is troubled. Don't spread your fear through this clan. We have enough real threats to face. The dismissal is total. The circle of elders turns its back on him. Their conversation returning to the practical matters of a broken spear or a dwindling supply of dry wood. Kale stands alone, the cold weight of his vision settling in his gut. He tried to warn them, to be the guardian Elara was training him to be, but their faith is in what they can see and touch. Not in the nightmares of a boy, he understands. Then, that words are not enough. He must give them a fear they can see. The silence comes first. An unnatural hush falls over the coast, so profound that the clinking of flint on flint sounds like a thunderclap. Every head lifts. Then comes the sound of great, sucking gasp from the world itself. Down on the shore, the tide is not merely out. It is gone. The ocean has pulled back, exposing a seabed of rock and kelp and flopping, suffocating fish for a mile or more. In the clan, a collective intake of breath is the only response. Every eye turns to Kale, no longer seeing a boy with a fever minus dream, but a prophet. BR is the first to move. He grabs his heaviest spear, his face a mask of granite, and bellows a single word that cuts through the stunned silence. UP. Tonic, cold and sharp, finally breaks the clan's inertia. It is a frantic scramble. Mothers clutch their children, hunters grab their weapons. Abandoning everything else, they surge towards the narrow game trail that leads to the high ridges. The only path of escape. Their world, their entire hominid history, is being erased behind them. The trail bottlenecks into a narrow pass between two sheer rock faces. And there, blocking the way, is a living mountain, an Ankylosaurus,
careful
low to the ground, Its back is a solid carapace of fused bone plates and spikes. Its head a wedge of solid armor. Its tail, ending in a massive, bony club, sways slowly, a pendulum of absolute destruction. It is chewing on a tough cycad, and it looks up at the approaching humans with small, indifferent eyes. It is not aggressive, merely present, an immovable object in the path of an unstoppable force. The clan's kids to a halt, a wave of despair washing over them. To go around would take hours. They have minutes. We have to move it. Beowulf growls, his knuckles white on his spear shaft. I direct assault is suicide. Spears would shatter on that armor. K-less mind races, connecting the vision, the creature, the terrain. It's too wide for the pass. He yells over the glowing murmur of the crowd. Its tail, it needs room to swing. If we come for sit-in, we can get past. It is a desperate gambit, a piece of tactical thinking born from pure terror. This is the application of primitive technology, at its most fundamental level, using the environment as a tool, intelligence as a weapon. Beowulf understands immediately. He doesn't question the boy. Not anymore. He points his spear at 3 of his best hunters. You're here with me. We draw its attention, make it charge. Tail, get the others through the moment it enters the pass. It is a potential death sentence, an act of pure altruism for the survival of the group. As the 4 hunters spread out, shouting and banging stones together, a new sound begins to build from the west. A low, deep rumble that is felt more than heard, vibrating up through the soles of their feet. The tsunami. On the horizon, a thin, dark line appears. Beowulf and his men don't hesitate. They charge the beast's flank. The Ankylosaurus, annoyed by the noise, turns its immense head. It gives a low bellow and swings its tail. The club sights through the air with a terrifying whistle, smashing into the rock wall where a hunter just stood, spraying stone chips like shrapnel. The fight is a deadly dance. The hunters are nets, buzzing around a titan, their spears uselessly clattering off its hide. But they are first, and they are driving it, step by agonizing step, towards the mouth of the purse. The light on the horizon is no longer a light. It is a world. It is the vision made real. The beast, enraged, finally charges Beowulf, who dives aside at the last second. The Ankylosaurus crashes into the narrow entrance of the pass, its wide body wedged tight. Its lethal tail is trapped, useless against the rock walls. 10 Beowulf screams.
Every knot,
Kale shows the others forward.
a mark of ingenuity.
A tide of terrified humanity pouring past the trap. Thrashing dinosaur. They scramble over rocks, slipping and falling, but never stopping. Kale is the last one through, pulling a crying child with him. He glances back. Beowulf and his hunters are already climbing the sheer cliffs beside the pass, abandoning the low ground. Below, the whole world has become a sound, a deafening, grinding roar as the ocean returns to claim its own. They huddle on the high ridge, a small, shivering remnant of a people, and watch the water cover their world. They do not see their caves smashed, their tools scattered, their history erased. They only see the grey, churning water stretching to the foot of the mountains. A new and hostile sea where their home used to be. They have survived. They have faced the living embodiment of the prehistoric world, its geological power and its armored, indomitable beasts, and they have won. But it is a victory that feels like a total defeat. They have nothing left but the clothes on their backs and the terror in their hearts. Yet, something new has been forged in that terror. The clan looks at Kale not as an apprentice, but as a guide, his foresight now their most valuable weapon. They look at Beowulf not just as a chieftain of strength, but one of wisdom, who learned to trust a new kind of power. This single, desperate flight was a brutal lesson in the core tenets of human evolution, that to survive is to adapt, to listen to the whispers of warning, and to unite intellect with action. Their ordeal was a microcosm of the entire epic of Homo sapiens, an insignificant creature, armed with little more than a fragile mind and a stubborn will to cooperate. standing against a world of titans. What is the genesis of human courage, if not the rational, terrifying decision to enrage a monster, simply to buy a few more seconds for the tribe? This is the chronicle of our ascent, written in blood, on a canvas of bone. But in the strange new silence of the high peaks, something else has noticed. The world has changed, and its cold, reptilian eyes have found the survivors.